NFL, the San Diego Chargers. Howdy and welcome to Monday Night Football, the caboose edition, if you will. I'm Chris Berman along with Trent DILFER. Membership has its privileges. I only work with someone that has less hair than me. Good to be with you, my friend.
I was an easy partner for you then.
The San Diego Chargers. Well, folks seem to know the Chargers, Trent, but these are not your father's Chargers. These are not even your brother's Chargers. And for the first time in about a decade, they're not the favorite to win the AFC West. However, oh yeah, there's still that quarterback who we know who that is. That would be Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Bowman, when you got Phillip Rivers as your quarterback, you should be the favorite in the division. I'm telling you, there's a group of quarterbacks, call them elite, call them top tier. I call them quarterback surgeons. And Phillip Rivers is on that list. When you keep him clean, he's as good as anybody in this league. But this is a redemption year for Phillip Rivers. He threw 20 to the other team last year. So he's going to lean heavily on a player that's one of the most dynamic players in this league in a total matchup nightmare. That's Antonio Gates, who's healthy, boom,
right.
For the first time in a few years. Look for Phillip and Antonio to start gashing some NFL defenses again.
Well, it'll be fun to watch them tonight. Now, forever, the Oakland Raiders and their legions of fans, full respect, reverence, if you will, to Al Davis, who, of course, passed away last October. This is the first full season that Al has not been here in Oakland. The Raiders are calling it a new era of excellence. Al was always the commitment to excellence. Mark Davis's son, the owner. Reggie McKenzie, the new president GM. Dennis Allen, the youngest coach in the league, obviously the new head coach. And you almost forget about their quarterback who came over in the midseason last year, Carson Palmer, his first full season here in Oakland.
Yeah, and boom, it's really a rebirth of the Oakland Raiders organization, but it's an opportunity to have a rebirth as a quarterback, Carson Palmer. Just a few years ago, everybody said this is one of the best guys in the league. I'll tell you what, he's as talented as anybody in this league. But he told us, he said, hey, for the Oakland Raiders to get back on track, for me to get back to where I belong in that elite conversation, we need, in my opinion, this is Carson Palmer, the best player in the National Football League, Darren McFadden, to carry us there. So look for the Oakland Raiders to lean heavily on Darren McFadden to get them back to their glory days.
And if he's healthy all year, there will be a different offense for sure. And that puts a smile on the face of as the captains shake their hands. Dennis Allen, who for 12 more days will still be in his 30s. Once again, the Raiders have the youngest head coach in the National Football League. Their first defensive head coach since John Madden took over in 1969. And across the field in his 6th year with San Diego, a man that's won over 100 games in the NFL, 3 AFC West titles here with the Chargers, that would be Norv Turner. So we're ready for action here in Oakland, and once again, as everyone has known throughout the first week of the season, the replacement officials, and that is the gentleman, Jim Core, who we saw at the Meadowlands on Wednesday night in the opener, who did an outstanding job, frankly. It looked like it, in control of the game. He officiated Wednesday night, and he is here with the final game of Week 1 here in the NFL. Then you're looking at the infield, the last skin field, if you will, Trent, the last multi-purpose stadium, except for one game a year the Bills play in Toronto. So we may have somebody safe at second base here in Oakland as the A's are in the thick of their own pennant race. Welcome back to what is a raucous O.Co Coliseum. The Chargers will kick off. And for the first time since the opening kickoff last year, it'll be Nate Kading, number 10, injured on the opening kickoff last year. Nick Novak kicked for the rest of the time. The two of them battling out in preseason. And it is Kading who will kick back with the Chargers. Taiwan Jones, very fast, number 22, deep for the Oakland Raiders. We're underway in the East Bay. Fumbles it. Bang! sometimes that can spring a return. Not in that case. Sharice Wright made the tackle for the Chargers. And now, number 3, Carson Palmer. You talked about a rebirth, Trent. He, as much as anyone, wants this to be a rebirth season for him.
He really does, and this is the perfect system fit for Carson Palmer. Everybody thinks this is the West Coast. It's going on in Philly, where their home run used to run. It's going on in Green Bay. It's not. This is the Houston Texans version of the West Coast here in Oakland. Zone run game, extended drops in the play action game, fits Carson Palmer perfectly.
Palmer to pass. Little swing, McFadden. That didn't take long for a nice pickup. Cooper Carlisle, the left guard, with a big block out there.
Nice way to start the game. You get Darren McFadden, one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, out in space, a little swing screen, as we call it. You get matched up on Jarrett Johnson, who's a great football player, but not necessarily a great player in space. Love the play call, love the play design.
2nd and 1, Marcel Reese, the fullback, in front of McFadden in the eye behind Palmer. McFadden. Not much, but that'll be an Oakland Raider first down. Atari Bigby on the tackle, and we look at the Raider lineup. Denarius Moore and Jacoby Ford, 2 big-time receivers, are not available tonight. They're inactive. Darius Hayward-Bay, you know, and then a great story.
How about this? Rod Streeter, undrafted free agent from Temple, 19 total catches his senior year in college, starting on Monday Night Football for the Oakland Raiders.
Palmer. Nice play by Antoine Cason, number 20, to break that up as Palmer looked. His first avail wasn't there for him and tried the near sideline.
Yeah, and a good decision by Carson Palmer, putting that ball way out on the boundary because he has a little conflict in the pocket. Not necessarily pass rush, but bodies around his legs. Makes the quarterback very uncomfortable, makes a good decision, and chucks it out of bounds.
Good hit!
2nd and 10, Oakland, opening series. McFadden. Not much. Tackled it, if you will, deep in the hole between short and third.
And that's what the San Diego Chargers want to do. The only way you can stop the zone run game is by knocking the defense back. You got to have knockback players. Takeo Spikes, Jared Johnson, guys that can change the line of scrimmage, penetrate, and make Darren McFadden stop, then start again.
3rd and 9, Oakland, 3 wideouts. That is complete to number 10, Derek Hagan, just signed this week, and that's an Oakland Raider first down.
How about this, Boom? Derek Hagan gets signed on Thursday for the Oakland Raiders. First 3rd down of the season, he's running a hinge route, a timing route that Carson Palmer has to trust the depth, when he's going to get out of the break and anticipate the throw. Shows a lot of confidence by Carson Palmer, and that Derek Hagan, very dependable.
1st and 10, Oakland, their own 39. Fake to McFadden. Complete to Darius Hayward-Bay, fighting for 8 yards.
You're going to see a lot of this from the Oakland Raiders, changing the launch point. Everything starts off the zone run game. So Carson Palmer comes out, ball fake to the back, changing the launch point, getting out of the pocket, getting the defense to drop deep on the corner route and dumping it off to the hitch. You're going to see a lot of those on early downs, 1st, 2nd down. That is their version of the completion passing game.
2nd and about 1.5 yards. Pitch McFadden. First down and more before he's out of bounds. Owen Schmidt came in at fullback 44 and provided blocking. And if you longtime Raider fans say, wait a minute, 44 fullback, is that Marv Hubbard?
Not Marv Hubbard, but look at Darren McFadden getting the corner. If you can get this guy on the corner, there's a home run ready to be hit anytime he touches the ball. right there, playing ahead of the chains, second and short, so you can run the toss play. Owen Schmidt gets the corner, McFadden does the rest.
So now the third first down for Oakland. They're in Charger territory at the 44.
Empty backfield, displacing both backs.
McFadden had to kind of make a circus grab on it back to the line of scrimmage. It was not smooth, Trent.
No, Bill, you see so many of these quick screens, these quick smoke throws out to the perimeter, trying to get guys one-on-one matched up on the defense. The thing about it, though, people don't understand is that receiver stepping forward, then coming back, the ball's out of the quarterback's hands. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of repetition to strike that ball right on the chest.
2nd and 10. Mike Goodson, number 25, comes in to run. There's a change of pace after McFadden was stood up by Bigby the play before, and so now 3rd and long. 3rd down defense, Charger.
Gain of 2 to 43, 39.
Well, let's see if they come up and put some press coverage on Derek Hagan, these other wide receivers. Last time they gave them 3 runs off the line of scrimmage. It looks like they're going to do it again on 3rd and 9.
Flag down as Palmer throws in and out of the hands of Derek Hagan, and for the first time tonight, we'll hear from Jim Core, the official. Everybody knows that signal.
Offside, number 50, defense. 5-yard penalty, it's a 3rd down.
So the Raiders now have taken the opening kickoff, have held it for 5 minutes, get a break, and will try to convert another first down. 3rd and a long 4 here at the 38 of San Diego. Palmer. Complete to Rod Streeter. The Chargers say, wait a minute, we have wrestled that free. And they have. So Streeter trying for extra yards. He had the first down.
Boom, great job by the offensive line protecting Carson Palmer. Nice play design, good throw. Rod Streeter, though, young player, needs to understand right now you're not going to get any more. Get on the ground as fast as you can. If not, somebody's coming in to jar that ball loose.
And that's their 1st round draft pick, Melvin Ingram, already making his presence felt.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2013 GMC vehicle at gmc.com/NFL.
Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Rachel Nichols on the field here on Monday Night Football's caboose edition, if you will. Carson Palmer and the Raiders moved to 57 yards before the turnover. And now for the first time this season, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers offense get underway just shy of their own 30. And the toss is back to Ronnie Brown, the former number 2 overall draft pick in 2005 by the Miami Dolphins. And what a surprise, big Richard Seymour already making his presence felt.
Yeah, let's not forget, Richard Seymour still a game wrecker in this league. Everything about your game plan has to account for him. One of the classiest players and classiest people in the National Football League.
Richard Seymour now, year number 12. Hard to believe. So a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Rivers shotgun. Dump. Ronnie Brown. Fighting for about 6 yards. Michael Huff, the free safety, number 24, makes the stop. Another former number 1 pick himself, like Ronnie Brown, like Richard Seymour, like Phillip Rivers.
A lot of first-round picks on this field tonight.
3rd and 6, San Diego, their own 33. First quarter, no score. Rivers in trouble and down. The Oakland Raiders front wall, which even win or lose against the Chargers, more losses than wins in recent years, continually maul that offensive line, and they're doing it again from the get-go.
Tommy Kelly, Leonard McClain, Richard Seymour, Shaughnessy, everybody trying to eat Phillip Rivers there, and that's the Oakland Raiders fastball. Every defense has a fastball. What do they want to do? What do they do best? For the Oakland Raiders, it's that interior push, getting in the quarterback's lap.
Mike Cyphers will punt. Phillip Adams, the youngster at his own 18 to receive. Knocked out of bounds by Darryl Stuckey. Nice return of 15 yards after a 53 out from Mike Cyphers. 3 and out, San Diego. Carson Palmer and the Raiders coming back on the field, no score. Welcome back to Oakland, no score. Next Monday, Peyton Manning, Broncos. And Matt Ryan of Falcons, a good one. And we're going to be 2 hours now every Monday. Susie and the gang, thanks for sitting in for me again, Suze. 2 hours today, but 6:30 to 8:30 Eastern every Monday. Get you set for what happened in the Sunday games. Get you set for Monday Night Football. So now the Raiders take over at their own 34. Darren McFadden churning for about 7.
You know, Boone, you think, I know the first drive by the Raiders ended up in a turnover, but if you're looking at the start for the Oakland Raiders, they go down. Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, does a great job on the first drive. 3 first-down throws. They extend the formations using Marcel Reese and Darren McFadden, spreading the field out a little bit. They go 10 plays, nice start offensively. Then they go around and get a 3-and-out on the San Diego Chargers, who are the second best in the league on fewest 3-and-outs. Nice start by the Raiders.
2nd and 3, Carson Palmer to pass. McFadden again, a busy back as we thought he would be, and that's another Oakland Raider first down. 10-yard pickup, and that made it look easy. Here's the play, and describe what we're going to see with McFadden and overall.
Look at what on the running back and the linebackers get deep, get depth in the coverage. Carson Palmer was telling us that's exactly what they're looking for. We play fake. If they get deep, that means we get our best player, Darren McFadden, the ball in space, and they got to tackle him one-on-one.
At the midfield stripe, Oakland. Palmer to pass. Yes, a nice catch along the sidelines by Darius Haywood-Bay. And that's another Oakland Raider first down.
And this is beautiful. Watch Carson Palmer at the top of his drop. He drops here. Now let's freeze this right as the ball comes out of his hand. Look at where Darius Haywood-Bay is. He's not even close to turning around. That's what Carson Palmer and the best quarterbacks do in the league better than everybody else. They throw their receivers open. They let the ball leave their hand before the receiver is open. It makes such an easier play for the receiver, and it's indefensible from the defensive standpoint.
A workhorse is McFadden, but this time Donald Butler, one of the inside backers for the Chargers, snuffed it out. 5 first downs for Oakland, 3 and out for San Diego thus far. So what will this Greg Knapp in the offense, his second time he's been offensive coordinator here over the years for the Oakland Raiders, what will be the big differences? You've already seen Palmer on the move a little.
Well, Greg Knapp's a great offensive football coach, but he learned so much in his time in Houston about the run-action passing game, how to create chunk yardage and get your backs isolated on first and second down in the pass game. It's going to be more run and then run-action based.
Quick fire and good defensive play by another former number 1 Number 23, Quentin Jammer. Fans, some of them wanted a flag, but that's perfect, didn't it, Trent?
Yeah, that was a great play by Quentin Jammer. He anticipates the short hitch by McFadden. You watch him drive on the ball. Watch his right hand come through right as the ball's getting to McFadden. That is a perfect play by Quentin Jammer.
You know, he is one of your father's Chargers, though. It's his 11th year. But a lot of changes back there for San Diego, both sides of the ball.
He's been a consistent performer for this team for a long time.
3rd and 10, Oakland. Palmer. Flat. A little bit behind, and again it's Jammer on the play. A little bit behind young Rod Streeter, and we will see one of the best and certainly one of the largest kickers in the National Football League, Sebastian Janikowski.
And Boone, that was a really smart play by Carson Palmer. You know, everybody talks about Carson Palmer forcing the football. He had a chance there downfield to fit it into a tight hole. He realizes it's a field goal up there in scoring range. If he gets a short completion with his kicker, they can get points.
Shane Leckler to hold. John Kondo to snap. It's high from 51. What a surprise. It's good. Last year, 7 field goals of 50 yards or more for Sebastian Janikowski, who's now kicked 37 of them his NFL career. So the snap was high. Leckler, the great punter, the nice hold, and Janikowski fires it through. 3-0 Oakland. It's been all Raiders thus far. BERMAN, Trent Dilfer, Rachel Nichols on the field here in our Monday night crew. The week 1 of the NFL began on Wednesday evening, and we're still at it toward the bewitching hour, Monday night in the East. Here we are in the West, a beautiful day in the Bay Area. And thus far, it's been a beautiful game for the Raiders. 84 yards Trent on their 2 first possessions. The Chargers lost the yard and punted. Now they'll get another opportunity.
Really nice start by the Oakland Raiders. I know they've only gotten 3 points out of 2 drives, but there's residual effect from those 2 drives. One, Phillip Rivers was on the field for 3 plays in the first 10 minutes.
Janikowski kicks it deep as Richard Goodman is going to come out. Whirly birded right around the 20. Taiwan Jones tied one on Goodman that time, and now Phillip Rivers will have his second opportunity to run the control of the Chargers offense. He's been doing that since 06. Crowd, you can hear them all dressed in black, silver, some white. It is indeed the Raiders at home. 1st and 10, San Diego at their 21-yard line. Curtis Brinkley is now the running back. Trickery and the pitch back to number 11, Eddie Royal. So a little trickery for the Chargers, picks up a first down. Michael Huff is there to knock him out of bounds. Royal, who played in here many years as an opponent as a Bronco, one of those new receivers for the Chargers.
And Norv Turner, probably the best play designer and play caller of deceptives, misdirections, trick plays in the NFL. And he told us he's got to help his young rookie free agent tackle Michael Harris, and he's going to throw the whole bag of tricks at the Raiders early on so they can't get a beat on young Michael Harris.
So the first down of the game for San Diego. Rivers making a switch. That's Brinkley, 36 in motion at the top of the screen. Shotgun. Rivers. Nobody open. Incomplete. Three-man rush that time.
Yep. Dropped a lot of men into coverage. You look at the Chargers offensive starting lineup. Look at fullback LaRon McClain. Here's a big old hoss playing running back. Versatile guy, can run the ball, can block, gives Norv a lot of versatility in his play calling. But it all really starts with 1785. Those two making plays in the passing game.
2nd and 10, San Diego. Hit hard on his carry. Curtis Brinkley picked up maybe a couple Philip Wheeler and Rolando McClain, pair of linebackers, do it. And we showed a shot a moment ago of the left tackle Mike Harris, number 79. Undrafted free agent, UCLA rookie. Jared Gaither, the expected left tackle. They don't know when they're going to get him. They don't really know what they're going to get out of Harris.
Well, he's got his hands full, and it's these types of situations, boom, these critical moments, 3rd and long, where you can do some things tactically, but at the end of the day, you got to put him on an island and say, hey, block that dude across from you.
Rivers. Long. Complete downfield to Robert Meacham. You've seen Eddie Royal, and now you've seen Robert Meacham, the 2 receivers brought in to replace Vincent Jackson, if you will, who's gone to Tampa Bay. So that's your father's Chargers, 46 yards.
Yeah, and what your father's Chargers were used to were Phillip Rivers tossing dimes down the field, and that's what this is. This is a perfectly thrown ball. Robert Meacham can't keep his feet, but he did a great job getting open on the stutter move. They got man-to-man coverage, the single high look. Phillip pinned the safety, got the ball down the boundary.
So a big 3rd and 10 pickup, now 1st and 10 at the 20. Play action, Rivers, right flat. Brinkley. And now the Chargers starting to click big time on their second drive, a pickup at 12. And that's another San Diego Charger first down.
And this is where Phillip Rivers had a lot of problems last year, from the 20 to the 12. And he told us, I didn't play the situation well enough. We're right there. Maybe last year we were trying to push the ball in the end zone. He's patient. He gets the ball in the flat. Now they're playing ahead of the chains in the red zone. Phillip Rivers learning what caused him all those big mistakes last year and correcting them in front of our eyes week 1.
1st and goal, San Diego at the 8. 3-0 Oakland. 2 minutes left, quarter number 1. Rivers to pass. Kind of just squirts it out to LaRon McClain to avoid the sack. He picks up 3. Tommy Kelly, Philip Wheeler on the tackle. You know, we're not seeing the main back out this week, probably next week too. Ryan Matthews. So here's Ronnie Brown. Here's Curtis Brinkley. Here's LaRon McClain. We're going to see Jackie Battle. We're going to see again a lot of new names, Chargers. And on this drive, they're all contributing. 2nd and goal at the 5. And it's Eddie Royal, 11 in the slot now. Rivers firing, little high to Malcolm Floyd, number 80.
Malcolm Floyd does a nice job there, boom, getting open in the back of the end zone. Phillip starts looking right to begin this play, then he flips his hips and gets backside and just misses him by a hair. He talked about trying to get the ball high up to Malcolm Floyd. Phillip knows he missed one there.
Third and goal from the 5. I'd keep my eye on number 85, Antonio Gates. He had him there for a split second, but incomplete. And so instead of taking the lead, the Chargers will try to tie it. Boy, Rivers to Gates in the red zone. How many times? Everybody knew it. Still almost had him.
You called it, boom. Great little stick nod. He sticks the outside, gets Brooke on the post. Phillip delivers that ball exactly. That's teaching tape where to deliver that ball high above the head in the back of the end zone. That's when Antonio Gates right now is kicking himself for not bringing it in.
Nate Kading will attempt a 23-yard field goal. The punter, Mike Cyphers, to hold. Mike Witt, the snapper. And it is good. A long field goal, Janikowski. A chip shot, Kading, toward the end here of the first quarter in Oakland. San Diego 3 and Oakland 3. 3-3. Oakland and San Diego. They've been at it since the AFL days of the 60s. And, of course, at least twice a year, once a championship game. 1980. San Diego was at home, but Oakland beat them and went on to win the Super Bowl 15. Carson Palmer has looked good, Trent. 2 good drives for Oakland thus far, only 3 points.
He really has. But I'll tell you what, Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, dialing up ball plays so far, getting everybody involved, but not forgetting his bell cow back, Darren McFadden.
Nate Kading to kick. Taiwan Jones 7 yards deep in the end zone will stay there. And the Raiders will begin at their own 20. And the first 2 drives for Oakland, one which was ended in a fumble forced by Ingram. And here you go. So this took, what, 14 minutes exactly?
I'd say that's kind of a victory for both teams in this rivalry.
The Raiders had a chance to get in the playoffs last year in this stadium in the final game. The Chargers beat them. Raiders beat them in 3 games before that. Before that, San Diego won 13 in a row, but many of them, Oakland won. They won the slugfest. They lost the scoreboard battle. And now the officials will discuss it. Jim Core and his crew, which include lineman Hugh Douglas. No, not that Hugh Douglas. Just he is the umpire.
That'd be a quick transition.
Yeah.
From the NFL
to being an umpire.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 57, return team. Half the distance, first down.
Can we say something, though? Last year, the Oakland Raiders, that's Keenan Clayton, number 57, get flagged. Dennis Allen says we are going to be more disciplined. We're going to be smarter, and it took 14 minutes to get their first penalty this year. They had 163 last year, NFL record, over 1,300 yards, NFL record. 6 of the top 8 number of penalties, the highest numbers of penalties, all by the Oakland or Los Angeles Raiders. So already, Dennis Allen waited 14 minutes till he got his first flag. Darren McFadden got a 4-yard pickup. Raya Franklin on the tackle.
And boom, you mentioned it. I mean, we talked to Dennis Allen. We talked about the rebirth of the Oakland Raiders. And he said, this is going to be a culture of discipline, detail, and accountability. Everything matters. That's the expectation. He is not a happy camper that they get that personal foul there on the kickoff. I guarantee you that Keenan Clayton's getting a talking to on the sideline.
2nd and 6, Oakland, 14. McFadden towards the first down, looks to be maybe just a bit shy. We'll see. Donald Butler on the tackle, the 3rd-year linebacker from Washington.
Yeah, and this zone running game, every once in a while they'll throw in a gap scheme. Kind of a change up there to keep the defense off balance, and that's what you saw right there. You saw him run a gap scheme instead of a zone scheme.
We've played a quarter here in Oakland. The Chargers and the Raiders 3-3. We'll be back. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. A beautiful look at the O.Co Coliseum. I can't do it. It's a beautiful look at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. I feel better.
I feel better hearing you say it.
Thank you. 3-3, we begin the second quarter.
Bill, I was talking about Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator's play calling. Sometimes it's so easy to try to outthink the room, get overly creative, have all these bells and whistles, and forget where your bread is buttered. He hasn't done that. McFadden, 10 touches already.
3rd and a half a yard, Oakland. McFadden grinding. And he looks like he's just going to nudge it forward over the 20 to pick up a first down.
That's an underrated part of Darren McFadden's game. Everybody thinks of him as this weaving runner, this explosive speed. He has great finishing power, contact acceleration. Usually you see at the end of big runs. But on these tough yards, you got to stick your nose down and you got to keep accelerating right there. See the legs churning? And he knows how to fall sideways to get that first down.
6th first down for Oakland here early in the second quarter. 1st and 10 Raiders. Palmer. Complete to the man we talked about, the youngster Rod Streeter. Free agent from Temple. So Palmer, the Heisman Trophy winner from USC, to the free agent Temple Owl touchdown, first down.
When we talk about the action run game, you put in your hammer, Owen Schmidt at fullback. It smells like run, it tastes like run. You flash the ball, and then you get Rod Streeter, the undrafted free agent, working down the field, using his speed, getting out of the break, create a chunk yardage play on first down. Great play call, great execution.
His third catch, Trent, 1st and 10, Oakland lead 33. Pitch, attempted reverse. This is going to be trouble. Taiwan Jones has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Tackled back in his own end.
Boom, this has been Taiwan Jones' history. This is an electric athlete. He has incredible top-end speed. He is showing flashes of being a dynamic player. Yet he's just been too inconsistent doing the little things. That's not a great pitch by Marcel Reese, but it's good enough. That ball's on your eyes. You have to be able to come down with this on the deceptive play, and they had a play out the backside if he's able to get his hands on that and secure it.
Second and a whole bunch, as in 35. No such razzle-dazzle here. A pretty nice pickup by Mike Goodson. Came over as the Carolina Panthers had a running back glut, if you will. So, I mean, that's just to keep everybody honest, a little more breathing room, but he'll be third and slightly less than a whole bunch of McFadden back in.
If you're Dennis Allen, you just are infuriated right now. The drive starts with a personal foul, a lack of discipline. The drive's going to get stopped because a player doesn't catch a ball in a reverse play, a lack of discipline. Everything he preached to us, the Raiders in this drive have not shown.
Little swing pass to McFadden. The Chargers are all over him. 4 of them in pursuit, and so we will see, because Jammer has been busy, makes the tackle. We will see punting for the first time tonight. One of the very, very best in the history of the NFL. That will be number 9, Shane Leckler. You already saw him make a nice hold on Janikowski's 51-yard field goal. Eddie Royal, a good return man, number 11, back for San Diego. Great punt. Now Royal. Flag. Breaks loose. It's Leckler that tries to get in his way all the way up to the 38-yard line and maybe coming back, as there's a flag way back on the San Diego 20. A 48-yard return, that time by Eddie Royal on a huge point of 62 by Leckler.
And boom, number 59, John Kondo, their long snappers on the ground, needing some attention. When your long snapper goes down, people out there may go, oh, no big deal, there's another guy that can snap. No, you're talking about a mechanism. The snap, hold, kick. Takes a lot of timing, a lot of execution. Put another guy in there, and your kicking game can be wrecked in a hurry.
One of the few teams that have a Pro Bowl kicker, punter, and snapper. The Raiders. Meanwhile, Kondo comes off.
During the return, illegal block in the back. 25, return team. 10 yards from the spot of foul. First down.
And that is a huge penalty on number 25, Darryl Stuckey, third-year safety from Kansas. So each team backing themselves up now here in a 3-3 game.
They get so many opportunities in the tight red. San Diego Chargers do not capitalize on their two. Phillip Rivers, wide open. Malcolm Floyd in the back corner. Would love to have that one back from shooting to the left. He wanted to pull it back on the string. Then Antonio Gates, this is a beautiful throw. Anticipates it, getting to the second level, and Antonio Gates doesn't get his hands up. Both great pros probably went to the sidelines and wanted to throw it in their mouth.
First and 10, San Diego at their own 10-yard line. It was a 52-yard swing, and where they would have had the ball into the penalty. Curtis Brinkley battling for a few yards, picks up maybe 2. And let's talk about the broken collarbone. Ryan Matthews could be back next week. He finally showed the flashes last year of a 1,000-yard season. They needed him to arrive in the backfield. He may not play in the home opener next week against Tennessee. So again, here's 4 backs. We're seeing all different sort of plays, right, Trent?
Yeah, they'll have unique skill sets, but none have that dynamic aspect that Ryan Matthews brings to San Diego Chargers offense.
2nd and 8. Rivers slings it. And a nice catch made by number 11, Eddie Royal, on the near sideline. And just to continue on Ryan Matthews, you know, he's been hurt some, and now he's hurt again. Last year, kind of came on, averaged almost 5 yards a carry. Is that at Fresno State? Is that the way they come to him? Is that your...
Well, when I had hair at Fresno State, I went more with the flock of seagulls up top.
Thank you. Yeah. Just wanted to clarify.
That kind of changed. It morphed into the Mohawk, but I started the flock of seagulls back there in the 90s.
3rd and 1. And that would be Tommy Kelly bull rushing the center, Nick Hardwick. Those two guys have certainly got to know each other through the years. And we'll hear from Jim Core.
Encroachment. 93. Defense. 5 yards. Good enough. First down.
Boom. Think about the last 2 possessions for the Raiders. 1 on O, 1 on D. On offense, you have the bad plays that stop your drive, and now on a 3rd and 1, a lack of discipline by Tommy Kelly extends a San Diego Chargers drive. These are the things the old Raiders did constantly. Dennis Allen doesn't want his new Raiders to have that same mentality.
1st and 10, Chargers their own 24. Fake to Brinkley. Rivers tosses it away, and now there's a flag coming down very late. Tyvon Branch, 4th-year safety from Connecticut, in the area. Let's see.
Holding. 33. Defense.
Well, so as soon as we
automatic first down.
As soon as we commend the Raiders for taking 14 minutes, now here come the yellow flags, Trent.
Yep. Showed that discipline early on. Now they're showing a lack of discipline. Tyvon Branch not letting go. All you got to do is shadow the back right there. You don't have to grab him around the waist.
So 1st down, San Diego, just shy of the 30. 3-3. 2nd quarter, 9.5 to go. Rivers. A swing out to Ronnie Brown, is such a good pass receiver. Played last year, of course, behind LaShawn McCoy. In Philadelphia, you're really not going to get in that much. It was around Ronnie Brown who they built the Wildcat around in Miami back a few years ago. But then he could catch it, run it. And so now, all of a sudden, with Matthews out, he's going to be, I don't want to say the workhorse, but we'll have the most touches of the backs.
Yeah, Norv talks about his pass receiving skills out of the backfield, and that's where they'd really emphasize him the most.
Well, the Raiders said that's very nice, but we're not buying it this time. Rolando McClain, number 55, made the tackle for the first time this evening. We go down to the field and say hello to our compatriot, Rachel Nichols. Good evening, Rach.
Good evening, Boomer. Well, you guys saw the long snapper for the Raiders. John Kondo needed some help off the field. He got hit in the head, and he told the staff here that he was fine. He was telling teammates on the bench he was fine, but protocol is to bring him into the locker room, give him some concussion testing, so that is exactly what they have done. He's back there now. Boomer?
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you, Rachel. 3rd and 4, and that looks at flags are down. Free play, San Diego, so Rivers will go for it to Gates, but he's pretty much double covered. He looked like Tommy Kelly again. Encroaching.
Every team in this league, when they don't make the playoffs, what do they say going to the next training camp? We got a chance. We're building something. We're going to get to the playoffs. What they don't understand is if you keep doing the same things that kept you from getting there before.
93. Defense. 5 yards. Penalty good enough for a first down.
You're not going to get there the next year. And Tommy Kelly, back-to-back horrible discipline on 3rd and short, extending San Diego Charger drives. This is the type of stuff that cannot happen for the Oakland Raiders if they want to change the mentality, the focus, the direction of the organization.
3 first downs on this drive by Raider penalties. 1st and 10 Chargers at their own 40. Quick swing to Royal. Shakes one tackle, but could not shake number 56, Miles Burris. Ron Bartell was there. He snuffed it out. The new corner came over from St. Louis, played only 1 game for the Rams last year. Was hurt. 2 new corners for the Raiders, so he made the initial hit. The Raiders were on that one to Royal.
And boom, the Raiders have played good defense so far. They've given up 1 big pass play to Robert Meacham on a double move. Besides that, they played really good defense. It's these penalties on 3rd down, extending the drive, that's killing them right now. Let's see if they can overcome those penalties by just playing great midfield defense.
2nd and 13. Rivers to Malcolm Floyd. What a catch that was, and a throw on the outside. That's a big-time play between guys that have done this many times.
Absolutely. I talked about it all the time. There is no defense for a perfect throw. Malcolm Floyd gets the release down the boundary. He knows that ball is going to be a firm up ball behind him. That back shoulder fade, just his body, goes up the highest point, gets it. There's nothing that Ron Bartell can do to stop that play. That's just perfect execution by Phillip Rivers and Malcolm Floyd.
Now the Chargers at second base at the 39-yard line of the Raiders. 23-yard completion that time. Fake to Brown. There's Antonio Gates. Puts his head down and picks up a 1st down. An 11-yard pickup from Rivers to Gates. Just been such an outstanding player. 8 straight Pro Bowls for Antonio Gates, and as you said at the open, healthy this year to start it out.
And a staple of North Turner's offense, that little tight end throwback screen. Getting an athlete now. This isn't a tight end. This is an athlete out in space with 2 bigs out in front. Look at the violence of the finish. That's what you got to love about Antonio Gates. He's just not a prima donna, do all the pretty stuff. He does the ugly stuff well, like finish hard when he sees a DB.
Rivers 5 for 5 on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 29. Quick swing out to 33. LeRon McClain. And that'll get about half of it. Lamar Houston, number 99, in on the stop. You know, we were talking penalties, and it would be a good chance to at least mention. We are honored to have with us in the booth, if anything comes up, in my opinion, about as good an official as we've ever had in the NFL. The ageless wonder, Jim Tunney, began officiating in 1960, finished in the NFL in 1991. If there ever is an official that should go in the Hall of Fame, it's this gentleman who now is smart enough to live at Pebble Beach. He's with us. Nice defense. Oakland as Curtis Brinkley is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Miles Burris, the rookie linebacker, 4th-round pick from San Diego State, doing it to his pro team, if you will.
Yeah, Miles Burris having a nice game so far. Recognize the play and shoots. They call fire your gun. When you see what's there, just pull the trigger and go. Don't think Miles Burris does it there. Gets the tackle in the backfield.
Crowd trying to help the Raiders on 3rd and 5 defense. 3-3 game. Under 5 to go in the 1st half, and Rivers will see something he doesn't like. And we'll call for a timeout to go over to talk to North Turner. So 3 and out the first series, San Diego, but that was just a filling out period. Phillip 10 of 13 in a 3-3 game. Chargers in Oakland territory. 3-3, Chargers, Raiders, later stages, 2nd quarter. Phillip Rivers, 6 for 6 this drive, as you can see, to 5 different receivers. 3rd down for San Diego, and a long 5. Rivers to pass. Lofts it downfield, complete, and the Chargers are in business. And who else would you want on a 3rd down situation than Antonio Gates?
And what a beautiful play call. It looked like Philip Rivers directed some traffic at the line of scrimmage, but Antonio Gates right now knows it's man covers. The quick release strikes an angle that Philip Rivers knows he's going to go to. He can lay the ball early out to Antonio Gates. He makes a nice job playing the ball up at its highest point, not letting Tyvon Branch strip the ball from his arm.
First and goal, the Chargers at the opening 7. Not much for Curtis Brinkley, maybe a yard and a half. Richard Seymour in there on the stop. He came over in a big trade from the New England Patriots, where he won 3 Super Bowls and played in a 4th on the team that was 1 minute shy of 19-0. Came over in 2009. No accident that Seymour was the first-round pick of the Patriots in 2001. They started their trails to the Super Bowl right there. He wants to start that here with Oakland. He thinks he's got the group now.
He does. He was very high on this group of young players.
Second and goal, Chargers. Rivers had plenty of time just out of the end zone to Dante Rosario. But they will use 3 tight ends. We know about Gates. Rosario can catch. Randy McMichael can catch and block. So another look for the Chargers, Trent.
Yeah, great protection by the San Diego Chargers. And that's going to look to everybody like Philip Rivers misses him. He has to throw that ball high and outside. There's an underneath defender, especially when the play takes that long. Those defenders' eyeballs are looking back at the quarterback. If you don't throw that ball high, it's going to get picked.
Third and goal at the 7. The Chargers were snuffed inside the 10 in the first quarter. Rivers. Trouble. Not trouble. Touchdown San Diego, Malcolm Floyd. And a dunk.
This is really a nice play by Philip Rivers. Floyd working the back end. It all starts because Philip Rivers creates space for himself, climbing the pocket. Nice job by the offensive line, but see him climb up. It is harder for defensive linemen to get you if you're going closer to the line of scrimmage, and then able to throw an accurate ball to the back of the end zone when his foot platform isn't right. That's what Philip Rivers does. It separates him from so many other quarterbacks in this league. Create space and throw accurately when his body's all messed up back there.
Kading with the extra point. Remember, a penalty cost them all the way back to the 10 on a huge punt return by Eddie Royal. So what? Rivers, 13 plays, 90 yards in 8+ minutes. 10-3, lightning bolt. Chargers with the lead for the first time tonight, 10-3. Philip Rivers, Malcolm Floyd on 3rd down deep. And now Nate Kading will kick it off. Tywan Jones had the big bobble on the misdirection on Oakland's last offensive possession. He's deep, and they'll let it go through.
Well, boom, let's go back to that last touchdown as we go to break. Good football fires us up, and that's what that was. That was just good ball, good offensive line protection. Great job by Philip Rivers protecting the ball, climbing up in the pocket. Look at this. His foot platform's all jacked up. Still's able to make an accurate throw to a receiver, working for his quarterback, getting in the end zone. Now that's good football, BERMAN.
Chris Berman, Trent Dilfer, Rachel Nichols, and our Monday night crew here in Oakland. Carson Palmer, the Raiders trailing for the first time this evening. First and 10 at the 20. And they swing, and that pass is low. Can't get handled by McFadden. And speaking of not handling, Trent.
Boom, winning and losing in the National Football League is really math. It's addition. You either add up all the little details and disciplines that equal winning, or you add up all the lack of discipline and the little details you miss equals losing. When you extend 2 drives because of 3rd and short procedure penalties or offsides by the defense, you're adding up losing football.
2nd and 10, Darren McFadden picks up close to 8 yards. So McFadden has certainly been a workhorse as we thought he would be. Now in his 5th year, first-round pick is 2008 from Arkansas, and you know the Chargers will take this. We're holding him to under 4 yards to carry. I mean, he's the Raiders saying if we ever get him for 15, 16 games a year, which they've never had, sky could be the limit for their entire offense. They're at least approaching it that way, Trent, in the first half, getting a bunch of carries. 3rd and 3, and that is a nice pass to Marcel Reese, the fullback, nice and simple, and the Raiders have a first down. The longest play of the day for Oakland, 15 yards.
Look at Marcel Reese. He's in the slot here. Number 45. That's a fullback now. I will say this about Marcel Reese, and we'll talk more about him. If you put 81 on his jersey, you would know the difference between Marcel Reese and Hernandez from the New England Patriots. This is a hybrid player.
We've reached a 2-minute warning here in Oakland with the Chargers leading 10-3. Well, that's coming up at halftime with Susie Colbert. Long day and evening, isn't it, Suze? It's about a halftime show with highlights of game number 1, a huge win by the Ravens with Coach Gruden. People asking for him here, of course, in the black hole, and Mike Tirico with analysis. And our new feature at halftime, which will be Sunday soundtracks, as we approach Tuesday morning in the East and past 8:30 here on the West Coast. So here come the Raiders after a 15-yard completion. First down, Carson Palmer. Nice grab by McFadden, actually turned that into a 4-yard pickup. Ball is a little high. Now the Chargers wholesale changes on defense.
And the Raiders trying to create a matchup on the outside, displacing Marcel Reese, their fullback, on the perimeter, and trying to get him matched up on a double move. Carson Palmer did a nice job checking the ball down, ran ahead of the chains, put themselves in a positive situation here.
2nd down and 6, the 2-minute drill. The Raiders, it dropped by McFadden. Donald Butler right there, ready to make the stick in case McFadden caught it. So that'll stop the clock. And of course, you can see the Raiders have all 3 timeouts with a punt, 21 to go here in the first half. Boy, the Raiders really moving the ball well. And then, of course, all you need to do is sit and watch a 90-yard drive, and it gets you to shooting yourself in the foot on the 90-yard drive. And
one thing they haven't done, though, Boom, is they haven't created chunk yards in the passing game. Greg Knapp right there, the offensive coordinator, said we've got to win on the perimeter, create some of those chunk yards so we don't have to drive the ball all game long.
3rd and 6, across the middle. Foul into Charger territory and out of bounds. And the crowd wants a late hit. Not really, not going to get it on Eric Weddle. Number 32, that's a 12-yard pickup, and Oakland has a first down.
Old school Texas route out of the West Coast playbook. You got a free rusher, but the timing of the play, getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands to the back on the Texas route, beats the blitz, and then gets Darren McFadden open in space, and now you get a big gain.
Minute 13 to go. McFadden winded, took the stick there, and Mike Goodson is in while McFadden gets at least a 1-play breather. Raiders approaching shortstop with an empty backfield. Palmer long. And that is nowhere near Rod Streeter, number 80.
Well, Boom, I think Carson Palmer is angry at Darius Hayward Bay. He saw the seam opening up down the numbers, and Darius Hayward Bay kind of stuttered his feet and stopped on the route. I think Carson Palmer's expecting Darius Hayward Bay to stay on his landmark, get running, use his speed, and dissect that ball.
Let's remind everyone that Denarius Moore is a hamstring, number 17. He's the best receiver that the Raiders have. He could play next week, but the decision was made even after he looked at warm-ups to kind of give him this night off. They need him for the whole year. There's Palmer over in the right flat, complete to Derek Hagan.
Really nice timing by Carson Palmer and Derek Hagan on that little hinge route again, the same as his first reception of the game early in the first series. A lot of trust Carson Palmer showed, and Derek Hagan getting that ball out early before he's out of his break.
And it's a first down Here come the Chargers, but Palmer dumps it off again to Derek Hagan. Been a Raider 4 days, been quite busy. Timeout Oakland. But just again, Denarius Moore and certainly the third receiver, Jacoby Ford, with a foot. Not here. Again, we're seeing some names in week 1 on both sides of the ball, Trent, that week 3 we might not see that much.
Yeah, Carson Palmer talked to us about the potential of this receiving core in general. But he said, but the reality is right now we're playing with Derek Hagan, who we picked up Thursday. He's only had a few practices with us. But Carson Palmer, veteran quarterback, is going to get him the ball on those safe routes, those outside hinge routes I've talked about, on an easy crossing route right there. But they got to get Darius Hayward-Bay, big play receiver, involved in the passing game. Rod Streeter has the one catch early in the game and then the fumble. They got to get these guys involved on the perimeter. They can't make a living this entire game just throwing the ball between the numbers.
Yeah, that was Moore, caught a couple of touchdown passes in Oakland's win in the middle of the season, 24-17 at the Chargers last year. Trailing 10-3. 2nd and 6 for the Raiders inside the 30 at the 28. Palmer is dumped to McFadden, and he cuts up almost to the 10-yard line. The Chargers thought he was going out of bounds. Raiders pick up a first down and quickly call for a timeout.
And a great play by Darren McFadden. The defender for the Chargers relaxes, thinking he's going to go out of bounds because it's a 2-minute situation. Darren McFadden recognizing, hey, we still got 2 timeouts. I'm going to get some extra yards here. Anton Kaysen kind of relax. Butler kind of relaxes. McFadden puts on the Jets, gets upfield, steals another 12, 15 yards. Now we got a legitimate threat to score a touchdown here on this drive by the Oakland Raiders. Nice play by Darren McFadden.
So McFadden, 16 touches, running and receiving for 88 yards. I don't know if we saw it, but the best speed shown on the play, I believe that was 39-year-old coach Dennis Allen, who went all the way down to the 10-yard line to signal timeout.
He was scooting. I mean, they gotta get everything they can out of Darren McFadden. We're talking about a tight end group. On the roster, 35 career catches. Darius Hayward-Bay doesn't even have 100 career catches. You got to get production somewhere.
Raiders looking to tie this game right before the half. Palmer firing incomplete. So Rod Streeter can't come up with that one, and the Raiders with 23 seconds to go will now have it 2nd and 10 from just inside the 12.
This is where not having a big-time productive tight end really hurts you in play calling. I mentioned 35 catches as a group. Brandon Myers, their leader, with 32. If you have a big-time matchup tight end guy here, your playbook is much more open than it is to Greg Knapp right now.
San Diego will call a timeout. You mean, is Dave Casper around? Is Raymond Chester? I mean, we could go on and on and on.
They wish. I mean, they like their tight end group. They think it's a high ceiling group. But right now, these guys just don't have a lot of experience. They don't have a lot of production. Richard Gordon's going to be a guy that may evolve into that. David Osbury is a guy that they're developing, a converted receiver move to tight end. But right now, as it stands, you got to use a Marcel Reese, a fullback. You're really your only hybrid player. Displace him in the formation. Create a matchup with him. Somehow try to isolate Darren McFadden or a wide receiver on a linebacker. But it really reduces the amount of ball plays you can call this tight in the red zone without that dominant threat at the tight end position.
Second and 10, Oakland at the San Diego 11. Palmer on the move, firing, and almost picked off in the end zone by the Chargers. Atari Bigby, new safety. Steve Gregory went over to New England. Bigby coming over from Seattle.
What a nice play by Atari Bigby. Maybe he might be saying, well, catch the ball. I saw Carson throw that ball. It looked like Derek Hagan was wide open in the back of the end zone. Carson just doesn't get quite high enough, and Atari Bigby climbs the ladder, goes up there, and makes a play on the ball.
If he's 6'1" instead of 5'11", he might have the pick that they'll take.
Amen. He's 5'10". Raiders have a touchdown.
Bigby and Weddle working well together. They were talking about that at safety. Now can the Raiders punch it in?
Delay of game. Offense.
I don't mean to laugh, but
5 yards. Remains third down.
for 14 minutes we were believers. Encroachments, delay a game. I mean, look, they're going to fire it into the end zone no matter where it is. Does this help you? I'm not saying it was on purpose. Having an extra 5 yards here, does it help you a little bit, Trent? Or is that the lack of tight end actually? It would if you had Antonio Gates, right?
I think that's a bigger issue. You go from the 11 to the 16. I don't know if you're necessarily going to push this ball in the end zone. You might just take it under the chains to kick the field goal.
The dump to McFadden. He's got blockers. He's trying. He's spun down. He might have a first down. Raiders trying to line up. They got a timeout. And they call it.
It's really Dennis Allen's first big decision as a young head coach from an offensive standpoint. Like I was saying, that's not necessarily a situation where you're going to pump it in the end zone, but why not get it to your best player? I like it. They get everybody deep in the end zone. Carson has the awareness of dumping under to Darren McFadden. Marcel Reese working for him on the outside as a blocker and gets him down there. Now really close to the end zone where Dennis Allen has to make that tough decision.
Monday night, your first game as head coach. You're playing a division rival. You're at home. You got a shot for one play. Go! Go! You don't like it.
I'm still thinking, bro. I'm still thinking. I think sometimes what can happen in this situation, you're at home. You try to make a mark as a team, as a head coach. You let emotion take over and make decisions for you instead of discretion.
Well, wait a minute. Well, of course, they don't have a timeout, so it doesn't matter. But 7 seconds, now that's different than when we saw 5.
We saw 5.
That's a different story.
Good point. Now you definitely have the opportunity to throw a quick slant, something in the back end zone, an isolation play outside, and if it's incomplete, now you line up and kick the field goal.
The wheels turning here in Oakland. The Raiders knocking at the door to try to tie this thing before the half. Closing seconds of the first half. They're under the hood reviewing because there's Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator. Dennis Allen, the head coach. Did McFadden's elbow hit on this third down, Trent, before he picks up the first? By that view, maybe so.
I think so. I think now they're going to be in a 4th and short situation with 7 seconds left, which does create a huge quandary for Dennis Allen once again. Do you try to stick it in the end zone, but now you don't have a chance to line up and kick the field goal if you don't convert, or you just take the guaranteed points? I think the spot's going to be behind the first down mark.
I agree, and on 4th and short, I'd go anyway.
Maybe we should arm wrestle up here, and the winner.
Hey, man, I'm from the AFL. I grew up with this league, the AFL. The Raiders and the Chargers were playing, the Jets, the Chiefs, the Houston Oilers, the Boston Patriots. They all went.
After review, when the runner touchdown was down by contact, he was on the 1.5 yard line. That's a half yard short. It's going to be 4th down.
I think they get the call right, Boom. I think it's a nice job by the replay official. And I think this is a good decision, too, Boom. I know you want to go for it.
I get it.
I just think sometimes emotion becomes such a huge part of the decision-making process that you reflect back on and say, if we just would have taken the points, have momentum going into halftime, 10-6, instead of a catastrophic mistake where you don't get points.
Sebastian Janikowski on a 19-yard field goal has the leg strength to actually kick it to Walnut Creek. But he bangs it through, and so you're saying discretion is the better part of valor? Is that what you're saying there?
Yes. I really believe so in that situation.
I get it. And so it's been an entertaining first half between these longtime West Coast AFC protagonists. The San Diego Chargers 10, the Oakland Raiders 6. Stay with us here, but in the meantime, We got a kickoff to come. We got Susie at halftime. The week of the NFL football is over. Be sure to check out Mike and Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick. New show here for us. They replay the most electric plays, biggest moments, and top performers on the gridiron. Mike and Mike's Best of the NFL. That's Tuesday at 3 Eastern. And it's 12 out here on the West Coast. That's 9 in the morning in Maui here on ESPN. So 4 seconds. Richard Goodman and number 87, Michael Spurlock. And the reason we bring that name up, after 31 years, he had the first return in the history of the Tampa Bay Bucks. It took him 31 years to return one. Well, this won't go to Spurlock. It'll actually go to Richard Goodman on the scoreboard. Gave it an effort. But now the half will be over with the Chargers to get the ball in the second half. After the Raiders and the Chargers say, we'll be seeing you soon. It's been fun. 10-6 San Diego. Now we go to the studio for the Toyota halftime show. And it's Susie Kalber. Hi, Suze. Well, thanks for hanging with us here. We got a good half of football to come before we put the period at the end of the sentence of a long week 1 in the National Football League. 10-6, the Chargers lead the Raiders. Chris Berman and Trent Dilfer with you here. Rachel Nichols down on the field. And so the Chargers were 3-and-out, Trent, in the very first drive, but then they got the feel in the 90-yard march. I mean, and they're using everybody, aren't they?
Heck of a drive. It had a little bit of everything, right? It had Norv Turner dialing up a nice little screen to get it started. Antonio Gates. You had Phillip Rivers dealing. You had guys making plays. Like I said, I like the play calling, right? You got to get Antonio Gates involved, so he calls the tight end screen. Great job by Antonio Gates selling it. Now you give involvement space. And like I said, I like the violent finish. And he just got a matchup. Raiders going to play bump and bump man coverage with a single safety. My best dude on a deep over, getting the ball for chunk yardage, and then Phillip Rivers just doing what he does best, creating a little space, dissecting the defense, surveying the whole thing, and then boom, that hard vertical climb, buying some time, that off-platform accuracy to Malcolm Floyd in the back of the end zone. Nice job by the San Diego Chargers.
So again, it's not huge throwing in yards, but 12 of 16 with no picks. Remember, he had 20 last year. And meanwhile, the Raiders have outgained the Chargers trend of this game. They have 204 yards, but only 2 field goals to show for it. San Diego gets the ball. Sebastian Janikowski will kick it off. And we're about ready to play some more football. Janikowski with the big leg. Richard Goodman into the half with a return of a squib. It's a nice return almost down to the 30-yard line. And that's where the Chargers will take over here. First and 10 for Phillip Rivers. So you see Norv Turner right there. I mean, that is a story. At the end of last season, the Chargers had a nice run, but not good enough to get into the playoffs. That 2 years in a row they didn't make it after seemingly always winning the division. And Norv Turner, the head coach, A.J. Smith, the general manager, who have done a lot of winning here. A lot of folks were surprised that Dean Spanos, the owner, decided to stay the course. More on that in a moment. But continuity is, you can't underrate it in the National Football League. So here we go, first and 10 Chargers at the 29. And that will go nowhere. Curtis Brinkley is stacked up. So look, the Tom Coughlin model, who set a record for most time being fired without ever having been fired, and to a and 2 Super Bowls, much lesser degree, Gary Kubiak never was expected to stay this long in Houston. Now they look like a behemoth, and that's the path. You can understand it.
Continuity within the organization. Kudos to Dean Spanos, the owner, for keeping A.J. Smith in place, and Norv Turner, one of my favorite coaches in the National Football League, one of the most creative offensive minds that's ever been in the NFL. I think he is eventually going to get the San Diego Chargers team to the expectations they all have.
A quick dump off, and that is Ronnie Brown. And a good tackle from behind by Tommy Kelly. And just to finish the point on A.J. Smith, he gets 2 more wins. He'll have 93 if the Chargers win 2 more games in GM. That'll be the most in Charger history, surpassing the legendary Sid Gilman. The Chargers under the radar this year. For them, I think it's going to help them. 3rd and 6. Opening drive, second half. 10-6 Bolts. Rivers in trouble. A one-handed grab by Gates, who's fighting for the first down. Didn't quite get there. It's a man out there, my friend.
What an incredible effort by Antonio Gates. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short, but how about this? Little two-man coverage. Nice job by Philip Wheeler covering him, but look at him go down, one hand snag it, and then the effort, the fight, the desire, trying to get across that first down marker. Just doesn't get quite enough. Good job of Oakland Raiders defense, holding short of the sticks, though.
Mike Seifert is one of those few punters that was actually drafted as a 5th round pick way back in 2003. A very good one and a very underrated one. He'll punt to 28. Philip Adams. Nice kick, Seifert. Adams will field it cleanly at the 6. And a fair catch there. And Carson Palmer will have to do what Philip Rivers and the Chargers did from almost that point in the second quarter. Go 90 yards plus to hit Baker. Back in Oakland, the Raiders with their first possession of the third quarter, trailing San Diego 10-6. And it gives McFadden whirling his way forward.
Well, Boone, the Raiders have done so many good things, but it's all negated because of these knucklehead mistakes. You got the fumble on the first series. You got the ball bouncing off the face mask of Tyrone Jones. You got 2 third and short illegal procedures on the defense approachments. I mean, just killing yourself. So no matter what you do on the good end, it's all negated because of those knucklehead mistakes.
2nd and 5 from the 12. Palmer now changing the play. They didn't change the workhorse, and that's McFadden. Straight up by the San Diego defense, who now let's big picture them for a moment. Is this the year? And wait a minute, let me call a timeout here. Antonio Gates is running across the field and down the tunnel, and we'll have to find out what. It looks like he looks fine. Maybe it's just equipment malfunction, but anytime he's going off the field, you got to mention it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the signature player for the San Diego Chargers offense outside of Philip Rivers. They got to find a way to get him the ball more and more and more if they want to score more points.
3rd and 2 now, Oakland, 15. Nice play by Quentin Jammer, but a flag is going to be thrown. He'll argue that he was there right on ball. We'll have to take another look. Good pressure that time, but this time it looks like the Chargers. And we will hear from, here's the play.
Pass interference. 23, defense. Ball being spotted at the start of the foul. First down.
Boom, from up here, it looked like a clean play by Quentin Jammer. Look good from here. Maybe just a hair early. That's tough. It's interesting because the one theme I thought from this weekend's football was that they were letting a little bit more action go on in the back half. Right there looked pretty ticky-tacky, but I guess by definition, that's PI.
And so the Raiders will pick up the first down on the flag of Jammer. 1st and 10 at the 32. Play action Palmer. And that's a sliding catch made by one of the tight ends, David Ausberry, second-year man from USC. So he was at USC about 10 years after Palmer. Look at the 2 Trojans do it.
Look at Darren McFadden. He's carrying the ball. He's catching the ball nice. Sticks his nose up there and depletes the linebacker. 3-tooled back. That's why Carson Palmer says he's the best player in all of football. I think he's got a lot to do to prove that, but he's showing it tonight.
1st and 10, Oakland, and the Chargers jumped that time. Looks like Vaughn Martin, 92.
Neutral zone infraction. 92. Defense. 5 yards, still first down.
Well, like I was saying about Darren McFadden, and we've been talking about all night long, he's been doing everything for the Oakland Raiders offense, and now he helps his buddy out. Quarterback, boom, sticking his nose up in there. Depleting the linebacker, that's not even his blocking responsibility. He's in a help mode there, allowing Carson Palmer to get the ball to bounds.
Inside tuck to McFadden. He is smacked. After a 1 yard pickup. Round to Rachel Nichols. Rach.
Well, you saw Chargers tight end Antonio Gates running off. He has a rib injury, and he is questionable to return. They are looking at him in the locker room. You can see it doesn't feel too good right there, Boomer.
And that's big. I mean, here we do. He started the year healthy. It's always been the ankle and all sorts of leg problems. That's a little bit different. And another Charger is down. And is that our man? You know, we meant to talk about him right at the outset. In his 200th start. His 200th start. You know how many tackles that is in 15 seasons with the Bengals and Bills and Eagles and Niners and Chargers? Never been to the playoffs. He's hoping this is the year. He's hoping to stay in to Teal Spikes. Back here in Oakland. 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. 10-6, the Chargers leading the Raiders. Second and 3 Raiders. Fullback Reese is at the bottom of your screen. Well, flank to the right, number 45, but it's McFadden. And that's a fine stop by Corey Legion. 94, and one of the names that the Chargers are hoping you will hear, one of the high draft picks, if all these planes, Trent, land on time.
Chargers theme, now we begin. No time to wait. They're waiting for Corey Legion to show up and be a dominant force in the defensive end position.
Legion, there's 54. Ingram, who forced a fumble on the opening series. There's Larry English they're waiting for. And they also got some good news. More on that in a moment. 3rd and 3. And there's a big stick by the Chargers on the completion. Eric Weddle, the first Chargers safety to go to the Pro Bowl in the last 10 years since Rodney Harrison made the hit on Brandon Myers.
Nice job by Eric Weddle, facing up his target, coming downhill, and stopping the Raiders tight end from getting the first down. Really nice short yardage defense by Eric Weddle and the San Diego Chargers.
To the Raiders, Ishoud going to the end zone at the end of the half. You can debate it. But they're going to go for it on 4th and 2 at the 48.
I think they have some confusion in the huddle.
They were thinking about it, but there go the flags. Yeah. Too many men in the huddle?
Illegal substitution, 12 men in the huddle. Offense.
The dreaded too many men on the ice. You know, that was a 1st and 5, too. So, I mean, that just didn't... Good Charger defensive stand.
Yeah, nice job by the Chargers defense, buckling down there. They're giving up some yardage at first. It looked like they played with a little renewed passion there. I think it started with that Teal Spikes play that they got banged up on. Shooting the gap, fighting off a guard, and making the play on McFadden.
Shane Leckler will punt. Ground ball snap. And remember, and we should have said it, it's a new long snapper. Kondo never returned with the head injury. The new snapper is Travis Gaethel, number 50, and it was a ground ball. You don't know how much a backup long snapper doesn't ever practice, right, Trent?
That's what I was saying. When Kondo went down, the first thing I thought is these backups do not get a lot of snaps. These backup long snappers, and your kicking game can go awry in a hurry. Without that timing, that precision location of your snapper, right there, catastrophic mistake for the Oakland Raiders because of that injury.
And one of the reasons why he was thinking about going for it on 4th and 2 perhaps. Chargers in Raider territory. Rivers, play action. Swings to Brinkley. Knocked out of bounds at the 34. Pickup of about 5.
Good decision by Phillip Rivers. Sudden change. A lot of offenses want to strike right now, take a shot. The Chargers dialed one off run action, but the Raiders sniffed it out. They play deep. Phillip Rivers has the discernment, check the ball down, Get your easy 4 yards. Play 2nd and 6. That's what we're talking about. Playing the situation. Don't get all fired up that you're getting a shot here and pump the ball down the field. Keep moving the chains.
2nd and 6 at the 35. And a swing out to the left side to Malcolm Floyd, or rather Ronnie Brown, 30 for a first down.
Again, there's a lot of completions in today's football if you're willing to take them. The Chargers run a deep double corner concept, but the defense gets deep, so as Ronnie Brown right in front of him in the flat immediately. It's called first completion mentality. Take the first completion. Don't wait for something better to come up. Phillip Rivers is in a zone completing the ball right now.
Trent, how about an attaboy to Mike Harris, the left tackle number 79. That first series, the Raiders were all over the Chargers offensive line. Not been the case since.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be a huge storyline. He's held up very well.
Rivers swings into the right flat. And scampering is Brinkley. Luis Vasquez, the veteran right guard with a big block there, 65. An 11-yard pickup, and that's another San Diego Charger first down.
Look at Vasquez right now throwing on the defender, cutting him down, allowing Brinkley to get the cut back, get those nice yards. What a beautiful play by Vasquez. That's that same swing screen we saw earlier in the game that the Raiders use. Now the Chargers use it. Become very vogue in the NFL right now. Nice job by Vasquez.
Red zone again, Chargers, 3rd time this game. Swinging left and running hard is Curtis Brinkley, who we thought we'd see a lot of today. Even though you figure on paper, man, it's going to be Ronnie Brown, it's going to be McLean, who was a Pro Bowler type fullback with Baltimore a couple of years ago. And so they're using them all, as you pointed out, Trent. Nice pickup and about half of it.
The Chargers are doing a nice job sticking to the run game. They haven't gotten big gains in it. The Raiders have really solidified the line of scrimmage from a defensive standpoint. But Northshire continues to call the run so he can set up the play-action pass.
Antonio Gates came back a few plays ago across the field, and he's in. Rivers. Incomplete.
Live to play another down. Trying to dial up a bootleg throwback screen. The Raiders sniff it out. Phillip Rivers gets the ball out of bounds, dirts the play, understanding, and now he can execute on 3rd and 4, sustain this drive. Nice decision by Phillip.
Crowd letting the Raider defense know they want to stop. Rivers to the right side, and a miscommunication with Floyd that time. And so for the 2nd and 3 trips in there, the Raiders have held the Chargers. And that will bring out Nate Kading to kick a field goal, Mike Cyphers to hold, and their second-year long snapper, Mike Wing. I just want to get this in because for almost 20 years, the man that played more games than any other Charger by a lot, David Bin, long snapper, 256 games. So Wink was stepping into some big shoes, did a good job last year. And he'll snap again. This one is good. And Kading from 28 is good. Of course, David Bin, everybody enjoyed when he would bring his friends to practice. He used to go out with Pamela Anderson. Brought practice to a screeching halt. We'll be back.
Never end up talking about the long snapper till he makes a mistake or gets hurt. How about this? Friendly fire, his own teammate coming in trying to make a play, gets him in the back of the head. He's got to go to the training room to take concussion tests. So now your backup long snapper dirts it back to Leckler. Flip the field position. Leaves a 3 points for the Chargers.
Travis Gaethel warming up and hoping that he doesn't have a ground ball again. Of course, fitting that we have an infield here in Oakland as the A's hope to complete their miracle season and get in the postseason in baseball. It's a big kickoff by Kading after the field goal. And the Raiders will take it. They'll start over at their own 20 for number 3, Carson Palmer, trailing by a touchdown. Welcome back. It would be remiss to start this season without remembering Junior Seau, who took his own life this past May. Seau, one of the great linebackers to ever play this game, played parts of 20 seasons, played 200 games as a Charger before finishing up in the end with Miami and then New England. Junior was sideline to sideline. You couldn't wait to see him play every week. And next Sunday, when the Chargers open up their season at home, before the game, they will forever retire as number 55 on the Dean's panels. And the Chargers doing that next Sunday. Junior Seau, dearly missed. So here come the Raiders as Darren McFadden takes a dump off. And the Chargers wanted to celebrate his life. And what they did was a week after he took his life, they had 20,000 at Qualcomm Stadium, and LT spoke, and you saw it was John Lynch, and Bobby Ross spoke, and Dan Fouts spoke, and it was a celebration, not a sad ceremony, because Junior beloved in the community more than just being a San Diego Charger. Football and the community forever at a loss with the loss of Junior Seau. And that play, Carson Palmer at a loss with Rod Streeter. That's incomplete.
Carson Palmer's pass incomplete.
Well, we've talked about the Oakland Raiders have done some nice things offensively tonight. They've moved the ball. They've converted on third down. The one thing they haven't done is knife the defense with the pass. They haven't created that big play. But give the San Diego Chargers a lot of credit. They took a shot there on first down. The Chargers had it gloved in the back end. Carson Palmer dumped the ball down. It's very hard to live all night in these third down situations.
3rd and 3, Palmer under pressure, and McFadden tries to squirm. Did he get there? I don't think so. Antoine Cason.
What an incredible play by Carson Palmer and Darren McFadden, though. Even if they don't get it, Melvin Ingram coming free off the edge, exploding off the corner. Carson Palmer looks it to McFadden. McFadden catches it and somehow tries to lunge for the first down. Doesn't quite get there.
Well, now remember, now here comes the snap again, but something else to talk about. This is a very much a new Charger defense with a new defensive coordinator in John Pagano. And they have held the Raiders to 2 field goals. This snap is good by Gaethel, but it's blocked! So the Chargers block it! Dante Rosario, special teams ace, tight end, came charging through. Why not try it? We got a shaky long snapper, and the Chargers special teams, the most maligned unit 2 years ago, this time come through. They've made major strides in this year plus since, and now they have a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And boom, when this long snapper goes down, it's not just the snap, it's the whole operation up front, the communication, it's a form of offensive line play. You could sense the Chargers saw it, feasted on it. That's why when he went down early in the game, I made the point of it because it can go bad in a hurry when you lose your long snapper.
That was Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach out of Yonkers, New York, and the Chargers smelling blood. Curtis Brinkley inside the 5 to the 3.
It's so disheartening for a defense to play well all night and watch your offense do this. Give it to your punt team. The punt team gets it blocked. Get pinned by the defense. Now you go out there and defend your goal line. This is very, very difficult for the Oakland Raiders. Try to stop the San Diego Chargers here, all because of special teams mistakes.
2nd and goal, Chargers at the 3. Motion and whistles, no play.
False start, 81. 5 yards, downrange 2.
Randy McMichael.
Randy McMichael getting started a little too soon, no confusion in the snap count. Make it that much harder to score down here when you make those careless mistakes. We've seen it with the Oakland Raiders, now we're seeing it with the San Diego Chargers.
Second and goal, the 8th. Chargers up 13-6. Knocking at the door. Inside handoff, Ronnie Brown picks up a few. Tackled by half of the Raiders defense. Rolando McClain, the middle linebacker in company.
The Raiders have done a nice job against the run tonight. Rolando McClain stepping up there, stuffing the little quick hitter play up the middle, but all night long, the Raiders front seven really containing the San Diego Chargers running game.
Third and goal. Rivers, not quite into the end zone. Ronnie Brown tackled by Michael Huff. And so the Raiders defense certainly does their job after only the 4th punt in his whole career ever blocked against Leckler.
What a great job by the Raiders defense. I was saying how hard it is to come on the field after that and get a big stop, but they do. Play at the goal line, make Phillip Rivers complete the ball short of the goal line, then come up and trust your tackling, square them up like Huff does, force the field goal. That is a victory for the Oakland Raiders.
Nate Kading, 19-yard field goal is good. And so the special teams turnover, the Chargers have a 10-point lead. Next Monday, our new 2-hour start time. Monday Night Countdown at 6:30, and then at 8:30 Eastern Time, it's the Broncos at the Falcons. Falcons look very impressive in Kansas City, rolled in a tough place to win at Arrowhead. Needless to say, Denver beating the Steelers last night. Peyton Manning impressive over the 400 touchdown mark, pass mark. So 6:30, the 2-hour Monday Night Countdown. 8:30, Mike and John and Monday Night Food. We're back to just one game on Monday night. I don't think I can stand it.
Not enough football. I like this doubleheader on Monday night. More football for everybody.
Nate Kading was 3 short field goals tonight. Good news, Raiders defense has held them 3 times inside the red zone. The bad news is the Raiders offense and Carson Palmer, Trent, have only 6 points. Even though 21-29 with no picks, he'll take it.
He's doing his job. He's doing everything in his power to help move this team down the field and punch in the zone. I got to believe that Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, the head coach, are talking about calling this game a little bit different now, knowing the problem they have in the snapping department and punt.
Pitch to McFadden. Good pursuit on that play by the Chargers, number 56, Donald Butler, who's been busy tonight.
He has. Getting off blocks, the San Diego Chargers defense, running through gaps, hunting down Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden's been a workhorse tonight, but the Chargers overall, especially in the run game, done a nice job shedding blocks, getting to him and gang tackling him.
The Chargers are looking for more negative plays on defense. That's not always a sack. That's a 3-yard loss on Darren McFadden. That would be one right there. 2nd and 13. Palmer and swings it behind McFadden, who drops it, but Kaysen was there anyway. The play wasn't going anywhere. At what point can we say San Diego's defense may be showing something we haven't really seen for a while?
Well, they are. You nailed it. They talked about penetrating, knocking the defense back, grading negative plays, and that's why, because now you let your dogs hunt. Now you let these pass rushers, Sean Phillips and these other young guys that can get to the passer, create some chaos in the pocket, make you dump the ball off, play some deeper zones, and drive on the ball.
Third and 13. Big pressure on Palmer and good coverage on the play also, San Diego, by Atari Bigby. This is quite a series for the Charger defense after the Raider defense just held San Diego deep.
Yeah, we've seen an intensity shift on defense in the second half. Both defenses. We look at the pass rush here. Sean Phillips taking the inside move. creating pressure in the middle of the pocket, forcing Carson Palmer to escape to his left and basically just throw the ball away.
Well, now here's an adventure. Last punt blocked. The punt before that, a ground ball from the snapper gate. Good snap. Chargers almost get it. But Leckler stands in with a nice high kick. But Eddie Royal has room. Run out of bounds. 53-yard 14-yard return to Royal. So a breath of fresh air there for Travis Gaither. Makeshift long snapper. But after 2 straight 3-and-outs by the Raiders offense.
If you're Travis Gaither, you got to be going to the sideline going, thank God that wasn't blocked or I got it airborne. Just something negative didn't happen.
However, the Chargers at the 45 will start. Long hand up to Curtis Brinkley, spun after a pickup by 3.
Miles Burris will
might
be
take
on
us to the end of the
number
quarter.
46, Curtis Brinkley. 3 yards on the carry, 2nd and 7.
Well, Miles Burris making another big play in the run game. I keep talking about this Oakland Raiders front 7 really dominating the line of scrimmage in the run game. They just need to find a way to get to Phillip Rivers quick in the passing game so he can't be so efficient.
Rivers keeps it himself and fires. Antonio Gates out of his hand.
The one thing that happens when you keep calling runs even though you're not running it well, you set up play action, you buy some time in the pocket to get your best player down the field, the little 7 pump the corner and go. And a really well-thrown ball by Phillip Rivers, one that, again, Antonio Gates normally comes down with. That's 2 big drops so far for Antonio Gates. The one in the end zone earlier in the game, and that chunk yardage opportunity there down the boundary.
Remember, he went off and was treated in the 3rd quarter for a rib injury. We'll never know. He'll never tell us that that was a problem. 3rd and 7 Chargers. So Rivers comes right back to Gates, and Michael Huff tried, but you're not going to wrestle the ball free from that big fella. And the Chargers now moving, and the end of the quarter is here. San Diego Chargers, the end of 3 here in Oakland, lead the Raiders 16-6.
I really believe in Dennis Allen, what he's doing with the Oakland Raiders, but tonight's been the same old Raiders. Self-destruction. Just beating yourself. You can't win this league till you learn how not to beat yourself. We've had turnovers, balls bouncing off the face mask, jumping off sides on 3rd down, rolling punts back because the backup snapper can't get the job done, then miscommunication on the punt team, getting a punt blocked. And after all that, after all those miscues, the defense still showing up, holding the San Diego Chargers to 16 points. The offense has done some good things, but ultimately, no matter how much good you do on defense and offense, those types of mistakes add up to losing.
Yep.
1st and 10 Chargers to begin the 4th quarter in Raider territory. Rivers Shumpton behind the catch made by Robert Meacham. This is a difficult play, a short pickup. Rachel Nichols on the field.
Were you guys talking about Travis Gaither and what it's like to be thrust into that long snapper role when you haven't had that much practice at it? Gaither has a little experience, but guys, it was a long time ago. He was a long snapper in high school. Since then, spotty appearances of practice, but not really ready for prime time, as we've seen tonight.
Well, that's fair, Rachel. I mean, it's not really his fault. They just don't work on it very much, right, Trent? But maybe teams around the league will see it and say, well, we'll take a few with the backup snap. You never know. 2nd down, Rivers. Behind, but a catch made by number 80, Malcolm Floyd. 12-yard pickup.
Back-to-back really nice catches by San Diego Charger receivers. First Robert Meacham on the crossing right now. Malcolm Floyd going down. And this is hard for a big man now. This ball's poorly thrown behind him on the glance. Adjusts his body, gets his hands low, comes down with the ball. Now, I will say this. Have you seen Malcolm Floyd's hands? They got to be the biggest hands of any human being in the NFL.
The biggest in the NFL?
They are ginormous huge, Boo.
Okay. First down, San Diego. Trent inside the 30. Rivers, the swing. And that is LaRon McLean. So, I mean, they've all been busy in the back. Pickup of a few, knocked out of bounds. 3-yard pickup. McLean was a really important part in the rise of the Ravens under John Harbaugh. But last year played with the Chiefs. He now finds himself here in San Diego. He's a workhorse. He's 6 feet 260. His 6th year out of Alabama. Rivers. And that is in traffic and not able to come down with it is Antonio Gates. That was tough.
That was a very tough play for Antonio Gates to make. But I like the aggressiveness by Phillip Rivers. Puts the ball up high, trusting Antonio Gates. And really just a nice play by the defender to knock that ball a little loose as Antonio Gates was going to the ground.
Branch and Wheeler in there on the play on the far side. Now, crowd imploring the Raider defense for another stop. 3rd and 7. Inside 13 minutes now. Leg clock coming down. Rivers gets it off. Look out! And a safety blitz by number 27, Matt Giordano.
Here comes Giordano off the edge. That safety pressure and add-on and overload. Phillip Rivers trying to buy some time. He thought Antonio Gates was going to take a higher angle on the crossing route. DB did a nice job. If you're the San Diego Chargers, that's not bad. If you can convert this field goal home here, make this 19-6, it's a successful drive.
Nate Kading, a 41-yard field goal from the infield dirt. Gets it. His 4th field goal tonight. Maybe coming here once a year, kicking off the skin, doesn't faze him. The Chargers lead at 19-6. Nighttime in the East Bay. Chris Berman, Trent DILFER, Rachel Nichols. The Chargers lead the Raiders 19-6. And remember, Nate Kading missed the entire year except for the opening kickoff last season. And what a big comeback game for him. Divisional game, 4 field goals, and a perfectly placed kickoff. I mean, you talk about...
He's listening to you.
I mean, that's almost like sticking one 6 feet from the pin, right, in golf. So, look, here are the Oakland Raiders, who now have to get moving here, Trent. They're down by 2 touchdowns, just about 19-6. Darren McFadden has been targeted about half the time, maybe a little bit more. That's great when he's rolling. The Chargers apparently were ready for it, weren't they?
They got to create a matchup. That's what the Raiders have to do. They don't have a lot of options. So I think you go to Marcel Reese, number 45. He's really the most dynamic between the numbers player. Got to find a way to get him matched up on a linebacker or safety to make a big play.
Good pressure on Palmer, but a big throw downfield and almost a circus catch by the rookie Rod Streeter. Kaysen and company back there on the coverage. You know, you make the point. You got young receivers other than McFadden and no tight ends and no Ford, no Denarius Moore.
Exactly. So you go to Rod Streeter, your undrafted free agent, who gets on top of Kaysen, gets an edge. It's a really well-thrown ball, and you just somehow have to come down with it. And Kaysen makes a really nice play, getting his hand in there, disrupting Streeter's ability to grasp the ball, but ultimately you've got to make the plays when you have a chance.
2nd down and 10 open. Fired across the middle and complete to Darius Hayward-Bay. He's been quiet, but that's a good play for the Raiders on 2nd and 10 and a 1st down.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders may consider at some point going to an up-tempo offense. They're huddling right now, but Greg Knapp talked about Carson Palmer's ability to master the line of scrimmage, get into an up-tempo mode. They can do it from their base package. I think at some point we may see that from the Oakland Raiders.
Longest Raider play of the night, 21 yards. 1st and 10, Oakland 41. Down 19-6. Look out. First it was Sean Phillips, and then it was Donald Butler again. The Butler did it in the conservatory with the lead pipe.
Watch Sean Phillips come off the edge here up top, bend the edge, use his hands, get to Carson Palmer, allow Butler to get in there and clean up the sack. But that play was disrupted because of Sean Phillips' ability to turn the corner fast and to create immediate conflict on Carson Palmer.
7-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 17. Palmer. And that is complete to Brandon Myers. And boy, he was close to the line of scrimmage, Trent. That's a big pickup of 26 yards. Very close.
It was close, but what a play by Carson Palmer. Boom, pocket manipulation, keeping his eyes downfield, off platform again. His feet taken away from him, but still able to be accurate to Brandon Myers. Great job by Carson Palmer, and then Brandon Myers does a nice job finishing the play.
Name you don't know well, 4th year out of Iowa. Another first down for the Raiders. They're 2nd on this drive in San Diego territory to the 40. Intended for Hayward Bay, and Quentin Jammer is right there on the cover. He got flagged once tonight, but he has been around the ball tonight, Trent.
Yeah, he really has. Quentin Jammer's had a nice night. But how about this play? You talk about a perfectly thrown ball. Darius Hayward Bay, Rod Streeter, you have your hands on the ball, down the football field, chunk yardage opportunity, get back in this game. You must find a way to bring that ball in. It cannot be thrown any better than Carson Palmer just threw that ball.
McFadden in trouble. Big trouble. All the Chargers around on that play. Marcus Gilchrist, 2nd-year man, 2nd-round pick a year ago. He was about the 3rd or 4th Charger that had him hemmed in. And Trent, that's another negative play. They're not always the sacks. It's an 11-yard loss.
Yep, and it started with the blitz, Gilchrist off the edge, and then that effort, that hustle, that energy to the ball to gain tackle. But this is what happened when your offensive playmakers aren't making plays. Now guys like Darren McFadden feel like they have to do more than they have to. So just getting down, they feel like they got to turn a bad play into a good play.
3rd and 21. Out past Rod Streeter on the right-hand side, and so the Raiders, who began with 2 nice first down pickups, Charger defense has forced another punt, and the Raiders hope not another adventure.
And another ball just a little wide. Carson Palmer just puts that ball out there a little too far. Rod Streeter makes a nice effort trying to bring it in.
Cathel, and now Leckler can't handle this one, this snap. And so, I mean, this is a disaster. As soon as Kondo, the Pro Bowl punter, was hurt, they just can't get even a punt off, and you have the best in the business in Leckler, who could pin you down at the 5 and be almost an offensive player.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I'm sensitive to Travis Gaethel not getting a lot of reps, but his job definition is to come in and somehow find a way to get it to the punter. This has turned into a debacle.
The only thing I would say is at least that was a spiral. Beautiful night in the Bay Area, aren't they all? Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. I know why you live out here, pal. I get it. I've gotten it a long time ago. So now, after the latest adventure by the Raiders' attempted snap for the punts, the Chargers have a chance to salt it away. Up 19-6 in Raider territory, but the Raiders' defense is not so fast as they snuffed Curtis Brinkley for no gain.
Yeah, and this debacle started when long snapper John Kondo gets caught up in friendly fire, takes one off the back of the head, a knee off the back of the head, goes in, gets tested for concussion symptoms. But we're going to show this debacle, dirted snaps, A-gap penetration, another ground ball on the way back, and And I feel bad that Travis Gaethel doesn't get a lot of reps. At the end of the day, you have a job to do. Come in, do your job. You can't let all the good stuff the Raiders have done tonight go to waste because you can't get the ball 12 yards back to your opponent.
2nd and 10. Now this is the flip to Eddie Royal, but the Raiders defense was not napping. They were there for it on pursuit.
How about this Raiders defense, bro?
Yep.
I mean, it's been unbelievable. They've been put in every bad situation, especially in the second half. They keep responding, fighting, clawing, doing everything they can to keep their team in the ball game.
And the new defensive coordinator, the man they call the chemist for good reason, Jason Tarver, who you know so well, is an injured Raider on the play because he has a degree in chemistry. You'll talk about it more. One of the new names and new faces that will contribute big time to the Raiders. 19-6 Chargers. We'll be back. Back in Oakland, they're wearing out the spot that on the field that Mike Gallego used to play for those Oakland A's at second base. Maybe Dick Green, the flip to Campy Campaneris at some point. 3rd and 10 Chargers. Raiders, they have another stomping. Rivers. Wide open is Malcolm Floyd. Inside the 20 to the 16.
What a big conversion by the San Diego Chargers. Look at Mike Harris, the rookie undrafted tackle from UCLA, giving Philip Rivers the time to climb the pocket, lay the ball on the boundary to the corner route. Beautiful execution by everybody in the San Diego Chargers offense.
So look, the Raiders defense has done a good job in the red zone. They must do it again because with a field goal, you do the math, there'll be 16 points. Not impossible. Anything other than a field goal, rough.
Don't ask me to do math or spell, but
M-A-T-H.
Thank you.
Rivers. Richard Seymour with the first knock on Brinkley. Tommy Kelly and company afterwards to make a negative play for Oakland.
I know they just gave up a big 3rd down conversion, but how about this Oakland Raiders defense again? Richard Seymour getting off the block, getting penetration, stopping Brinkley in the backfield, allowing all his teammates to come gang tackle. The Chargers have started their average field start this half is the Oakland 47. That's where they're getting the ball this half, and they've held them to 9 points. If they can hold them to a field goal here, phenomenal effort by the Oakland Raiders defense.
2nd and 15 now, Chargers. Oh, a little swing. A little swing out to LeVon McClain. And a flag is down. A chance one more time for our referee, Jim Core. 8th grade world geography teacher.
Legal block in the back. 61, offense. 10 yards, 2nd down.
Nick Hardwick, the veteran center, who's one of your father's Chargers.
Been around for a while.
Just want to get in. Jim Core worked Wednesday, worked Monday. He's an 8th grade world geography teacher at Sawtooth Middle School in Meridian, Idaho. He went back and taught Friday after being Wednesday in front of everybody at the Meadowlands. He's here on Monday. I expect him back in class in the suburb of Boise on Wednesday. He's an official from the Frontier Conference, Montana and the area.
I want to be in the class where the substitute teacher is. Take advantage of the substitute teacher, get away with some stuff. You know where your real teacher is.
No wonder you can't spell an ad. I get it.
Yes, makes a lot of sense, Boom.
First charge timeout.
19-6 Chargers. We'll be back. A pretty efficient night for both Philip Rivers and Carson Palmer. I mean, neither has lit up the scoreboard trend in a opening weekend when we saw a bushel of points at like 3 or 4 teams in the 40s. But good defense, and then
both these quarterbacks doing everything they can to help their teams win the game. Philip Rivers getting a little more help from the skilled receivers guys, and especially the special teams.
Second and 23 after the penalty, and so the Chargers will just play this pretty safe with Ronnie Brown. get back some of the yards and give themselves maybe a...
And I think that's really smart, Boom. This is the area of the field that really got him in trouble in 2011. This is where they turned the ball over, cost themselves points in close games. Norv Turner, this ain't his first rodeo now. He understands kicking a field goal here is big for his football team, especially as well as his defense is playing. I think you'll see another conservative play call, or he'll trust Phillip Rivers to learn from last season's mistakes and play the situation.
And they give us to Ronnie Brown. It is safe. And the Raiders snuff it out and actually knock him back a yard or two. Tommy Kelly, we've shown the flags, but he's been active inside, Trent.
He's been active in a good way and a bad way. He's
Yep.
been active disrupting the backfield and in a bad way with those early game jumping off sides. But look at him right here. Using his hands well, getting off the block and finishing the play on the back.
45-yard field goal attempt.
So Nate Kading, again, what a bounce back game. Hadn't tried a field goal since the 2010 season. And from 45, he has now made his 5th field goal of the game. So another field goal for the Lightning Bolts. And the Raiders have 5 minutes in which to score 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, 22-6, San Diego.
I think we're going to see now if some of these young receivers from the Oakland Raiders can step up and make some plays. You're going to see more aggressive play calling. You're going to see this ball in the air the rest of the game for the Oakland Raiders. Can somebody on the Oakland Raiders besides Darren McFadden make a play in the passing game? I think you're past the point where it could be Marcel Reese, because now you're going to be facing mainly subgroup defenses, nickel, dime packages, where he doesn't have the matchup advantage he had early in the game on a linebacker or safety. So it's got to be one of these perimeter guys. Darius Hayward-Bay, Rod Streeter, a tight end coming in, getting down the seam. Somebody's got to make him explosive so the Oakland Raiders can get back in this thing.
You know, one of the big things that, and we don't know that the game will end this way, but the Chargers will take out of this. When they came in here expecting the Raiders to try to physically beat them up, whatever would happen on the scoreboard, not been the case.
It hasn't. Norv also said they've been beat by vertical plays when they played this Oakland Raiders team, and the San Diego Chargers did a nice job containing them.
Tywan Jones will not come out, so they're going to have to go 80 yards. In this half,
First and 10 for the Raiders.
block punt, but it, I mean, even the punts that weren't.
Yeah, that's those downs plays. They're just turning, and those are like throwing interceptions. Those are fumbles. Those are turning the ball over on downs, flipping the field, giving the Chargers great field position. And this, I'm not using this, I'm not overusing this word. Those are catastrophic mistakes in the football context because they should never happen.
First and 10 at the 20, and here come the Chargers, and down goes Carson Palmer.
Sean Phillips again, bending the edge, getting around the corner, understanding it is a must-pass game now, taking advantage of Khalif Barnes not getting deep enough in his set, and just immediately hunting down Carson Palmer and putting him on his back. This is as hard as it gets for a quarterback when you have a defense headhunting on you, your receivers aren't making plays, and they know you're throwing the ball.
Second and a whole bunch. It's not quite a bunch, but it's complete to Marcel Reese. Now it'll be third and about 14.
Gain of 5 to the 16.
Charger defense standing tall, allowing 2 field goals tonight. Palmer. That will be a pickup of a first down. Brandon Myers, middle of the field.
Nice job by Brandon Myers getting in the seam, pushing up, and watch him bend. See him bend in there, give Carson Palmer the window. Carson did a nice job keeping his eyes to the left to open up that hole. A nice job by Brandon Myers getting there and getting the big third down conversion reception.
It was behind a couple of receivers. Streeter down the field. And incomplete with 3:45 to go, and the Chargers leading 22-6.
This situation, down 2 scores, those incomplete passes don't kill you. What you're really looking for is somehow find a way to strike the defense, get some 15, 20-yard gains, try to score quick. If you end up with a few incompletions, it's not the end of the world.
And now the Chargers, on the defensive timeout, give really their unit a breather. So, I mean, look, there are a lot of ways to look at it, and there's a lot of things, Trent, to say that with the punt situation and the snaps. But one of the things that has to happen for San Diego to, well, regain their lofty status as AFC West champs or potential is to have a defense that plays with authority and proves that they can make negative plays. Sacks, stops for loss. So far, so good for John Pagano's defense.
That and not give up the explosives.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to ask. I mean, Norv told us, hey, we want to make big plays in the backfield, create negative plays for the offense, and also not give up big plays. I mean, yeah, I want a lot of stuff too in life. Sometimes you can't ask for it all.
Right.
But that's what Norv's asking for, and that's what they've been able to do. Now, on the flip side, the Oakland Raiders, you know, in this reality world, we have Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Weight Loss Edition. This is Extreme Makeover NFL Edition. They're really making over the whole organization. And I'm sad that tonight's performance may make people think it's the same old Raiders, because I really believe in what Dennis Allen's doing, what Reggie McKenzie's doing. I do think they will be able to change this Raiders organization and move them forward and have a new era of excellence. We just haven't seen it tonight.
Well, Rome wasn't rebuilt in a day. Demario Williams, by the way, in the tackle San Diego. Palmer steps up. Another pass underneath. And he's very busy and very tired. Darren McFadden makes that kick. So now 4th and 5. And I mean, here it is. Under 3 minutes to go now. Raiders trying to get organized. And here it is. And there it goes. Nope, there's a flag. Antoine Cason, it appears, is flagged defending Hayward Bay, and so the Raiders will have new life.
Pass interference, 20. Defense. Ball in place to start a foul. Automatic first down.
.247, 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, but they still have a chance, Trent.
Yeah, and that was a lot like Jammer's play earlier. I mean, it is pass interference. Just all weekend long, we didn't see that play called in the back half, but it's the correct call by the officials.
Midfield stripe, Oakland, first down. And that is a completed pass to Derek Kading inside the 40 to the 37, and that's a Raider first down, 2.5. Tick, 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 tick.
Look at how close this ball is to Derek Hagan when he turns around. Carson Palmer let that thing go when Derek Hagan had about 4 vertical steps left on his route. What a beautiful throw by Carson Palmer under duress as well.
Under duress again, and a sack. And once again, Sean Phillips, his 3rd tonight.
Sean Phillips having a second half, getting around the corner, and the Chargers talked to us about this. One of the reasons they think Sean Phillips is going to have a huge year is because he's going to be able to stay fresh. Last year he's playing the Sam position, the strong side, outside position, getting worn out, taking on power O's. Tonight he's got other guys coming in, playing on 1st and 2nd down, so he can rush the passer. If they can get Sean Phillips going, boom. Talking about the San Diego Chargers, they might have that dominant defense they've been looking to have for a while.
You're right. They know. See, they're coachable, these fans, Trent. Yes, Sports Center is next with Neil Everett, Stan Verrett. Monster Monday night. Top plays of Week 1 NFL soundtracks. A lot of football. Got 2 minutes to go. Raiders down by 16. Carson Palmer under duress again. And it's just going to be a short pickup to Brandon Meyer.
It's tough. Fans get frustrated. They want to see this ball go in the end zone. But if you saw what we saw, the San Diego Chargers are playing deep, just allowing these underneath completions to happen, knowing that eventually they're going to run out of time before they can score twice.
It took a lot of time to set up there, frankly. And that somehow was a completion to Darren McFadden as he was in the wraps of Kendall Reyes, a good-looking second-round pick rookie from Connecticut. And now again, the Raiders will face a 4th down.
And wow, did every Charger come in and talk to us about this Kendall Reyes.
Yep.
Talking about him and Melvin Ingram, both, the two rookies, mature beyond their years, understand the nuance of the position, understand what it means to be a pro early on. Tequila Spikes was telling us about Kendall Reyes right here. Has an advanced understanding of how to use his hands, that he'll be a very successful interior defensive lineman because of his ability to use his hands, shed blockers, make plays in the backfield. They're really excited about their two young rookies, Kendall Reyes and Melvin Ingram, on the defensive side of the ball.
So 4th down and 3 for Oakland to have any chance. It's a slight one. It's better to have a slim chance than none. Look out, the loft, and that'll do it. Well, no, it won't, because on 4th down, there's another flag, and they're going to get Melvin Ingram, I believe, for a roughing the passer. Boy, he had a clear shot, Trent.
That's
Personal
twice
foul.
now.
Roughing the passer. 56 defense.
They call 56.
15 yards. Excuse me, half the distance, automatic 1st down.
Well, it had to be Ingram. I mean, it 56. It doesn't matter. It was Ingram. The Raiders drive continues, but now we're down to $120.
And he just comes off his edge like he's shot out of a gun.
Well,
that's a young rookie player. Frustrated. I'm coming home free. I'm going to get my head on the quarterback, and not understanding you got to pull up, not take those shots. Now you've extended the drive of the Oakland Raiders.
Again, minute 20 to go. 1st and 10 at the 13. Palmer underneath, fighting for extra yards. Myers, tick, 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 a minute 9. Raiders lining up at the 3.
Brandon Myers had a nice night. We talked about the lack of productivity by the tight end position. Brandon Myers showing up well.
Into the end zone, and it's taken 59 minutes, but you can finally say touchdown Raiders. Rod Streeter, the rookie.
Job with his release, and that ball is beautifully thrown right on the face mask, squaring Streeter up in the end zone. What a nice job by Carson Palmer that entire drive, but that drive kept alive because of 2 penalties by the San Diego Chargers.
Must go for 2, down 22-12. Hold the phone. Streeter with the touchdown. Palmer to Streeter with a 2-point conversion. The onside kick, which doesn't involve a snap, coming up. You never know.
Rod Streeter, nice move, pushes out on the corner, then runs the hook route. Carson Palmer, just like he did on the touchdown, gets the ball out early, anticipates, doesn't allow the defense to make a play on the ball. Carson Palmer dealing on that drive and helped out by 2 careless San Diego Charger penalties to extend the drive.
So it's an 8-point game, and it's still possible. The chance is slim, a little less slim now. It's not Sebastian Janikowski's first rodeo in this.
No. He's got a great onside kick. this situation's practice on both sides, both the receiving team and the kick team constantly. But ultimately, boom, it comes down to how that ball takes its last bounce.
And ultimately, it comes down to 2 penalties on 4th down, and we're not even talking about this.
Exactly.
Look at this setup.
It's like hitting a sand wedge off a cart path.
Oh, it's off a Charger and into the hands of number 54, Melvin Ingram, who kept the drive alive with the penalty, but he was sure-handed there. And barring a real catastrophe, the Chargers will come out of Oakland with their 15th win against the Raiders in their last 18 tries. Raiders have 2 timeouts. Barring a baton fumble, it's going to do it.
Orange!
I was in Kansas City last year.
Yes.
So Rivers fumbled
Yes.
the snap. But you're right, Bill. In all likelihood, it's going to be a Chargers victory. For Norv Turner, you got to be really excited about what you saw from your defense. They kind of did everything they were expecting or hoping for from that unit. Created negative plays, got penetration, and then didn't give up any big explosive plays. I think he'll be disappointed with those 4th down penalties in the last drive, but understands that's part of the game. I think his quarterback, Phillip Rivers, what was the story? He threw 20 interceptions last year. He took ownership. He got in our meeting and said, listen, they're on me. I got to stop trying to do too much, play the situation. I think they did a masterful job tonight of playing the situation, taking what was in front of him, not forcing the football. I think by the end of the season, Phillip Rivers will be back in that conversation as the league's best if he just handles that part of his game, because he is explosive. When they do get the matchups they want, when they do start playing some defenses that have that downhill mentality, he will knife the defense with the best of them.
And below that on the headline chart for the Chargers, welcome back. Your first field goal in over a year. Nate Kading at 5. The defense took 59 minutes to give up a touchdown with a lot of youngsters. I mean, for Oakland, look, their defense played pretty well. Carson Palmer played all right, but until Denarius Moore apparently and Jacoby Ford come back to hang it all on Palmer and or McFadden, it's a lot to ask. At least it was tonight.
Yeah, and this thing went goofy. Let's be honest about it.
Yes.
This thing goes goofy because of an injury to your long snapper. I think there's a lot to be happy about from the Oakland Raiders' perspective, offensively and especially defensively. Jason Tarver, the young defensive coordinator, has these guys playing significantly better defense than we've seen from the Oakland Raiders in a while.
They're actually going to have to run, I think, a play. 4-second play. It's 4th down. And actually will take the delay of game penalty. I mean, although I guess it doesn't matter. And then they're going to have to punt it.
Well, there's a couple different ways to handle this situation.
Yeah.
You can punt it.
Run around.
Where there's going to be about 4 seconds left on the clock. You can get your quarterback in a shotgun formation, snap an easier snap there and have him chuck it down the boundary high and really wide. And now it eats up the time. I've seen it done a bunch of different ways. But what did Eric Weddle tell us? He said, there will not be a situation we face this season that we have not prepared for and we do not have a plan for. He told us that in our meeting. And he's talking about offense, too. They know exactly what they're doing.
3 seconds on the clock, please.
If he's true to his word, then the San Diego Chargers special team unit that's coming out on the field right now, the punt team, has planned for this exact situation and should execute it and end this thing.
Run backwards, take 4 seconds and slide if you're the punter.
The best plan I ever was a part of with my coaching staff was getting the shotgun as a quarterback, let him catch the ball, let him throw it out of bounds, but I'm sure they've talked about it as a staff.
Mike went on the snap, and they will punt it. And, of course, only the official is back there. So, I mean, you had to send everybody. And on that slide inside the 5, the San Diego Chargers have come into Oakland, and the last game of the week 1 of the season has gone to the Bolts, who play their next 2 games. Tennessee and Atlanta at home. Oakland goes to Miami. Hey, this was a gas being the caboose.
Boom, it was an honor doing the game with you, man.
It's fun doing it in 2 teams, Trent, that exchange pleasantries from time to time, and we sit together many Sunday nights and get a chance to hang out on a Monday night, and it was a gas. Our whole staff, Jimmy Corrigan and our intrepid Mike Schwab, and all of our ladies and gentlemen down the truck. Rachel Nichols down on the field. It's call yourself a labor of love, and we're going to try to talk to Philip Rivers in a moment. So it'll be a short